You ready? First day of school, you all discombobulated. You know what I mean? You know.
Okay, the first day of school, he dealt with this last week with his
Right.
child to sit at the bus stop for an hour. He was like, "Well, I'm not driving you there. We just gonna sit here." And now I get why. Because the
Yeah.
traffic on the first day of school is
Yo.
like biblical bad.
Yo.
It's next
It's
level awful.
it's
I
bad.
so Devin rides a bus to drop him off at the house, which is great for me. But he has
Yeah.
therapy that I have to get to.
Yeah.
There are 5 different schools on the way to the therapy office.
Mm-hmm.
I'm weaving in and out of traffic, making U-turns, trying to go back ways, pulling in people's driveways, backyards, any way I can just to get into the therapy office. And they look at
Mm-hmm.
me like, Mrs. Shakur, you're a little late. I'm like, if you don't get the F out of my face, you better be glad I'm just here. And I didn't get no speeding ticket. Not today, Satan.
All
Not
right,
today.
my name is Miguel, the host of Life Full Circle Radio. That is the super producer with her red cup. Do we want to know what's in that red cup? Probably not.
Probably not. Not on this rough day. Not on this rough day. And there's so much to talk about.
Yeah, and
Ugh.
there's a lot to talk about. So here's the thing, audience. It is just us and you. So if you guys drop some comments and stuff in the little chatty box thing over here, and it looks like it's fly and it's going to engage our conversation, we're gonna pull it in. But there's a whole lot going on for sure. We want to make sure. Let's just get started because
Cool.
it's kind of crazy.
Where are we?
We
Who's
starting off
getting
with we're
heat
starting
first?
off with the orange guy. After the writing, those who
Okay.
pled the fifth for Trump pleads the fifth today. Let's talk about that story.
I don't know about that story. I knew about the raid. I had no idea about him pleading the fifth
See,
until I was making sure I had all my stories right.
first day of school. All right, let's jump into it. So he got raided at Mar-a-Lago. It was yesterday. Was that yesterday or the day
Yes,
before?
it was the
Yesterday.
day before.
It was the day before. They went and raided Mar-a-Lago. And then today, I wake up this morning and my phone is going beep, beep, bing, 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 bing. Because he because he got the civil suit going on in New York. New York is trying to get him. New York's trying to get him. Georgia's kind of get him. Of course, there's 2 black women that's trying to get him because the attorney
And
general of
that's
New
not
York.
even
Yeah,
including the January 6th commission, who also wants him to testify. Like,
right.
it's so much stuff going on. The amount of money he spends on lawyers alone has to be astronomical at this point. But let's
If
start
he
with the
pays his
raid.
bills,
Let's
if he
go in
pays his bill.
order.
But yeah, let's go ahead. Let's start in order. Go ahead.
So the raid, the FBI executed a search warrant Monday on Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort in Palm Beach, Florida, as part of an investigation into the handling of presidential documents. For those who don't know, after presidents leave, they are allowed to keep documents, but they have to be archived properly. You can't just be like, oh, they're just going to go in this box with this
Hmm.
plastic container and I'm going to slide under my bed. That's not
Right.
how this works.
Right.
So this is including classified documents that may have been brought there. 3 people familiar with the situation told CNN. The former president confirmed that the FBI agents were in Mar-a-Lago and said they even broke into my safe. That is not what happened. He went on to say, my beautiful home, Mar-a-Lago in Palm Beach, Florida, is currently under siege, raided,
My
and
beautiful
occupied by a large
home.
group of FBI agents. Blah,
It's
blah,
a
blah.
witch hunt.
It's a
Yeah.
witch hunt.
Yeah. Yeah. And here's the scary thing about this whole situation is that the more they throw darts at this guy, if they don't get him, it's going to be bad for all of us. And it ain't about Democrats
Absolutely.
and Republicans. It is about all of us. If it's
Yes.
if they continue to throw darts at these guys and they get no indictments, no convictions, and all they can do is go out and say, "See, they tried and they tried and they tried and it didn't work out. Vote for me again."
Yes.
It's
It's
and I'm
it's giving it's putting the battery in the back of his entire base, and that is the last
absolutely.
thing that we want. And again, guys, I'm the Republican on the show. I
Yeah.
know the ramifications of this. I
Yeah.
do not want another 4 more years of Trump ideology out there. Like, Republican politics, fine. Trump ideology and Trump politics are 2 completely different things, and even Miguel can agree these used to be 2 different
No,
things.
it used to be 2 different, and it is, and it really is got us all to the point that can we just get a regular old conservative Republican that we kind of dislike, not one that we totally hate.
And I agree with you. What
Yeah,
happened where you just were kind of like, I don't really like him. He's old and he's kind of stupid and he does
yeah,
weird stuff. Okay, fine. Then
yeah.
it'll be like Bush, when people all they wanted to do was throw shoes at him. That was fine.
Ooh,
That was,
that's like ancient history. Wow, somebody throwing shoes at Bush. That is, yeah.
but his
So
NFL dodging skills, his bobbing and weaving was impressive. As shoes are coming at your face.
he was a college athlete, so he was a baseball player. Who was? Right. You act like baseball players are not athletes. What was that?
Nothing.
All
No,
right.
baseball players are athletes. I'm just saying that he was not an athlete. So now we're gonna move on to the
Hold
actual
on, but
of him
look,
pleading the fifth.
yeah, him pleading the fifth. So, former President Donald Trump said he invoked his Fifth Amendment rights against self-incrimination Wednesday during a deposition before lawyers from New York Attorney General Letitia James' office in his probe into Trump's organization's business practices. So here's the thing: I was watching one of them, MSNBC, CNN, before we came on, and one of the experts on it says this is actually really bad for him because he's pleading the fifth in a civil suit. The
Yeah.
fifth is about pleading fifth so that you can't criminally indict yourself, right? So
Yes.
now, there's a lot of you don't have to have proven without a reasonable doubt in a criminal in a civil suit. Maybe he thinks, okay, it doesn't matter if y'all find me liable, I'm just not going to pay the bill, and so, but if that will transition into an issue that he's going to end up having when it comes down to the criminal charge, the January 6th probe, then any other indictment that comes in, they say that potentially could hurt him in the long run. I am interested to see how that's going to work out.
There are more, like I said, there's more indictments coming. The January
Mm-hmm.
6th is one. This
Mm-hmm.
situation is one. Whatever was raided from the Mar-a-Lago estate is a whole other thing. And
Mm-hmm.
let me be very clear, and Miguel knows this too. There has never been a president. I don't even think Nixon caused as many problems after he left
No,
office.
no,
There's
no.
never been a president who has had this many issues leaving office, severe issues,
Right.
not little things of I slept with a stripper or I got an extra child or like the Clintons who took a bunch of furniture when they left.
Oh
Oh, because
well.
they thought it was a gift.
Yeah.
It was
So
not.
it was not a gift. Anything that is this stuff ain't yours.
No.
Politicians, this stuff is not yours. You know what I mean?
Just here's the funny thing: just because you picked it out for while you were living there, it
Mm-hmm.
was literally on rent. They were really like, "This is like rent a center." So y'all
Yeah.
leaving, we're gonna take this back, and it'll just go in some museum. You don't get to
Yeah.
take it home; it just
No,
goes in a
not at all.
museum.
That's not how this works. So you look at Trump and you just say, man, this guy, man, is just something. He's just something else. But we got to deal with this guy because he is not going anywhere. Whether or not the Republicans, there's word DeSantis may run. Yeah, yeah,
I
that's
know
he's
I'm
your
in the
guy.
same Republican circles, and everybody's getting hype, but there are people in my Republican circle who are concerned because they don't want to create another monster, and they see that's what's coming down the pike if DeSantis runs. It's creating this. It's creating the same monster over again.
Yeah.
Where's Paul Ryan? Come on,
Oh,
boo.
where is Paul Ryan? He is
He works
he
at
dis.
Fox.
Well, that doesn't mean anything. He just getting a check. Doesn't mean he
No,
can't.
no, no. He actually works at Fox. He's like on like the board, the everyday do stuff
Oh, so he's
board.
every.
He
So he's in
works there.
operations. He's not just a
Yes.
correspondent. He's really working at Fox.
No, he
Okay.
works at Fox behind the scene. But if you want to
Okay.
stay in Crazyville, let's stay in Crazyville for a second. Alex Jones, his defamation trial,
Yeah.
actually ended with him owing the families of the Sandy Hook shooting, and I don't. People know what the Sandy Hook shooting is, where the
Right.
kids of Sandy Hook Elementary School. I think how many children were killed? 11.
I'm not gonna blow that because I'm not sure.
Okay,
And
we're
it's
not
just
sure. We're not trying to
yeah.
sound insensitive, but guys, when you think
Hmm.
about it, there's been multiple shootings and the numbers kind of get
Right.
mixed up. But anyway,
Right.
Alex Jones, what owns Infowars, conspiracy theorists, always saying that shooting was a hoax and these people were
Right.
crisis actors. It's
Right.
craziness. And the
Right.
parents were like, "No, we're taking you to court," and they won so far $4.5 million so far.
So far, and in some of the stories, horror stories that we heard about, people who are they have to move. These nut jobs are following them around and basically saying, you guys are cowards. You guys are charlatans. Nothing really happened to your kids. Like, yo, my child is dead. And so you got this one woman who told the story. She has moved 10 times
Yeah.
since this happened because people will not leave her alone. And it's not people who are empathetic. There are these nut jobs that Alex Jones and people like him continue these conspiracy theories. I say take every dime he's got, shut him down.
Absolutely.
Shut them down, and then go after the businesses that are doing, because he's selling the vitamins and nutritionists and all this type of stuff. He's doing, and whatever he's doing, shut him down.
So last week tonight, the guy who runs with what is his name? Who does last week tonight?
Last
The
week
British
tonight.
guy. It's on. It comes on Showtime or HBO. But he does it.
Okay.
He kind of does like the Jon Stewart thing of talking
Okay.
about the news in a funny
Okay.
way. He actually bought the Alex Jones vitamin package and
Okay.
tasted all that stuff on the show. He was like, "This tastes like ground wood and semen." I was like, "Sir, that is a lot of information for you giving us." But it was like a $200 box. But that is what Alex Jones has to do. He's not allowed on Twitter. He is not allowed on Facebook. He's not allowed on Instagram. He's blocked. His wife divorced him. Once this all started going on, she's like, "There's no reason for me to stay married to you at this point. I'm
Because you're
out."
about to be
And she
broke.
divorced him.
Right. You know, and it is, as I watched what they were talking about with that trial with Alex Jones, we're very familiar with the model of Alex Jones. You know that, right? Yeah. Yeah. That's the whole AMG with, Mr. Davis and what they used to do with creating these vitamins and doing all these info,
Oh
all
wait,
that
what was the
stuff.
other thing he did? The
Mhm.
olive oil from the tree. Was it the olive oil from the tree he used to do?
Yes, we're in the weeds right now. All right, so next up,
Let's just say me and Miguel used to work for a
yeah,
straight charlatan. Not even like
yeah,
one of those you think something might be up. Like he was a
yeah.
straight charlatan and sold olive oil from trees in Israel. He also sold it was something else weird that he would sell too. And we all just had to be like, wow, that's so profound. And me and Miguel be like, this is a load of bullshit. Like this we all going to hell. This is ridiculous. And Miguel would just shake his head and be like, I'm just here until I can find somewhere else to go.
Oh my
I'm
God,
cool.
give me my check. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about this story. This is a really big story. So
Mm-hmm.
Georgia, there's a big story that goes down here that had the Midtown Music Festival. And to be honest with you, because most of the artists that come aren't artists that I'm really into, I didn't know how big this festival was.
It's
This is
huge.
this huge festival, right? So Live Nation promotes this festival, and this year they've had to cancel this festival because in Georgia, with our governor George Kemp, well, actually George Kemp, what the heck is his first name? Brian Kemp. Um, he signed into law basically this open carry law where in Georgia you can walk around here with your pistol like it ain't nothing. And so the Live Nation had in their policy that no, you can't bring guns to our events, and people protested it, and they basically said no, that is against that's against the law. You can't sit up and tell me I can't bring it into a public space. And so Live Nation said, okay, we out. This is the way that you have to change things. You start dealing with the state's money. That's the only way that is. If Live Nation and then you got different festivals, one music for people in Atlanta, one music festival is a monster. You're talking about the entire Centennial Park being full of people. That's done every year.
You're talking
There's
about vendors, restaurants, hotels. They all lose
absolutely
money. It's
everybody's
not just
losing
one
money, and
thing.
you think about it, in the Georgia, not just in Atlanta, but in the Georgia area, yeah, you've got the Mercedes Dome, which is very expensive. You
Mhm.
have the State Farm Arena, which ain't cheap either. So there's a lot of outside festivals and events that go on in the state of Georgia. Now you're telling people you can't stop people from carrying guns unless it is a state event, and then at that point, but the state says it's all right for you to carry these guns. And so this is a huge story. And to
Yeah.
watch the development of how this is going to turn out, you know, it's this gun law, man, this gun stuff, man, is something that has to be gotten under control.
Red states are making huge mistakes because they're taking one thing and making it into a it's hard for me to frame this properly.
There's ripple effects.
There's a ripple effect that they're not taking into consideration.
Mm-hmm.
Most people don't care. I don't care if you own a gun. I don't care if you own
Mm-hmm.
5 guns. That's none of my business.
Mm-hmm.
But what I do care about is that you taking into a venue where there's young children or my children at just because you can have it.
Right.
I get it. You
Right.
want to keep yourself safe. We don't know what's going to happen in the public. We don't know what's going to happen in an arena. But there's staff there who are patting people down
Mm-hmm.
and who are making sure people are safe.
Mm-hmm.
And now if they're just like, well, we can't do that. We can't take their guns. So now anybody can walk in with a gun. Somebody who legally has a gun could walk in and shoot up anything.
Right.
And outside of that, let's think about the Las Vegas shooter. That
Right.
guy wasn't in that venue. He was shooting from a high hotel window. So
You bringing
what
up
is
Las
it?
Vegas is like we've had so many mass shootings in this country that I forgot about Vegas. And for people who don't remember, it was a country concert
Vegas sticks out
in
to me more
Las
than any of the other
Vegas.
shootings.
Oh my God, that was not only was the people hit,
Horrific.
but then people getting trampled, and because of the fear. When you think about Centennial Park in Atlanta, there are many hotels that surround Centennial Park
Yes.
because of the visual. It's a beautiful, and you stay down there, you see those visuals. It's something that you're like, oh man, this is amazing,
But that's most
man.
cities. Think about it. Miami
Mm-hmm.
has a large park
Mm-hmm.
that's surrounded by hotels that they have
Yep.
had venue. I think it's the Motorola Festival or something
Yep.
festival.
Yep.
Centennial Park, surrounded by hotels. Las Vegas Park, where they had the country festival, surrounded by hotels. So again, where are we drawing the line at between my rights and my safety and other people's safety? Again, I don't care if you have a gun, but if
Yeah.
you're coming to enjoy a festival, and let's say you have a gun and there's a shooter in a hotel window, now you like a dodo bird trying to shoot up at a hotel window, which you can't do. Like, what's it for? What do you need your gun for at this moment?
Well, because it's because people, I had this guy, man. I went and picked up, his kid the other day to hang out with one of my girls. He was out there cutting his grass with his gun on his hip. And, we just are, there are people now that just like this. You don't know who's crazy anymore. You don't know,
And that's true.
you just don't know. And that's so unfortunate that's where we are as a society. And then you got these, Republicans and say what it is. Because here's the thing, we got pistols around here. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But we not. I'm not running around here brandishing it, talking about showing people how tough we are. You come up on this
exactly. My
door, it's
brother's a
not going
gun
to be
owner.
pretty. But
My
it's
sister-in-law, my father are all gun owners. My
right.
brother and sister-in-law go to the gun range. They
Mm-hmm.
enjoy going to the gun range, but my brother does not ride in the car with his gun unless he's going to the gun range. It is literally to protect
Yeah.
his domain, his home. It's not to
Mm-hmm.
protect him that's in the car. Like it's just weird to me, I guess.
Yeah, well, but when it's all said and done, you start hitting the pockets, right? This is a big problem. Live Nation ain't the local promoter. Live Nation is the biggest
No.
promoter in the country, possibly the world,
And
and
they don't need you. They will
they'll
pull a concert so quick and be like, "Nah, we're gonna go to this real nice blue state over here," and they'll be like, "Oh, well, people won't come to the concert." Yes, they will.
yeah,
Yes, they
just
will.
like the same thing they were screaming about that when the All Star game was pulled from Georgia, because of the situation with I forgot what it was about 2 years ago. The reason why they pulled it, and all the Republicans in the state was just like, "Oh, out there they take the All Star game from Atlanta." Blah 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 blah. Yo, that's go talk to
COVID.
go talk to Brian
That's why
Kemp.
they took it. Remember, because they wouldn't follow COVID protocols and they wouldn't put any mask mandate in or anything. That's why they pulled it.
Okay, it was either that or money or something, but regardless, it's
It's either that or racism.
it's
You know.
it's crazy, man. I just sit back and say, man, people just don't want to coexist. Some of this stuff could be so simply dealt with if you just said, I'm just going to coexist with black people and brown people and gay people and whoever. Live your life, long as you're not infringing upon my life. Who cares? Live your life. But there's a whole group of people said, nope, not doing that. Nope. Nope, it's all going to be about what I want to see. All right, let's move on. Let's move on to this next topic, which is Breonna Taylor. Breonna Taylor, killers have been indicted.
Is that everybody? Again, this is another story. First day of school back, guys. I'm so sorry. Now I have to ask you questions. Was this everybody?
Yeah, the
Including the gentleman who, like the main shooter guy who was suing the boyfriend who shot back at them. Remember that story?
well, then you got me. I'm not sure. It says
Okay.
4 current and former officers federally charged in the raid that killed Breonna Taylor. Here's what we know: when the feds come after you, it ain't good for you.
Okay, so it would be current officers Kelly Goodfett, Sergeant Kyle Meany, former officer Joshua James, and Brett Hankinson
Mm-hmm.
have all been charged. But it doesn't look like the actual guy who was suing the boyfriend. I'm not sure about his name.
Well, let's track that down because this story is not going anywhere. Maybe by next week we'll have
No.
an answer. So the fact that there was an indictment, and here's the other fact: this wasn't a huge story. It should have been. It wasn't something that was flashed across all the timelines all day, all night. And that's the part that gets me about a lot of these scenarios. What they really are doing is because it doesn't take this long. Breonna Taylor has it been 2 years?
It was right before the pandemic. It might have been a little bit longer than that.
Okay, so they take their time. I always believe they're trying to basically let people forget about what happened. right? And then they come back because so much has happened since Breonna Taylor. You know, we forget about some of this stuff. I
Yes.
saw something this morning where right here in Atlanta, a black cop accosted a sister who, and because she wouldn't sign a citation.
I saw that video. Yeah, he had a mask on, but
Right,
she kept saying his last name over and over again. So, sir, I hope you enjoy your suspension.
right, right. And so, you know, but why? It's a citation. Because she asked you for your badge number, you're gonna sit
But
up there and
wait, that
slam.
can go both ways. That see, let me play devil's advocate.
All
That
right,
can go
play it.
both ways. It is
Okay.
just a citation. Lady, why didn't you just sign a stupid citation once you signed it and ask him everything but that you wanted
But
to ask him
okay,
and then
so
go off on him?
so it was the inverse. She asked for his badge number. He started going off, and then she said, "You know what, sir? I'll sign the citation." He said, "No, it's too late now." Why is it
Yeah,
too
now his
late?
aggression, before everybody jumps
Yeah,
down my throat,
yeah,
his aggression was completely unnecessary. Like all of
right,
that, I mean, we've seen cops. I've seen again. I bring up Benzino. Treat Benzino like, dude, what is your problem? Like, we just want you to do this. Just go stand over
right,
here. We're cool. We've
right,
seen them be able to talk people down. So
right,
he could have literally stood there with that black one and been like, I really don't care what you have to say. Can you just sign this so we can go on? Well, I
right,
just need your name number. I just need you to sign this.
right.
Like,
And
it
then I'll
could have
give you
been
my
that.
back. Regardless, you know, the job of these police officers is supposed to be to de-escalate these situations, and that is not at all what he did. There was no
No.
de-escalation in what he was doing, and you know, I just man, and then here's the thing about to make me pull out the 30-year-old black cop record, KRS-One. You know, this is a black cop in the city of Atlanta treating this woman like trash.
And I've said this before on the show and I will say it again. You know, there was a time when being a cop was a revered job. It took a lot of training. And now it seems that they're just taking anybody who is breathing, who wants to do the job. And it's not good. And that has nothing to do
Mm.
with the community. That has nothing to do with the community. Like, oh, the community's been so mean and aggressive to cops, and that's why nobody wants the job. No, nobody, everybody, it's just a different
Yeah,
job than it used to be.
yeah, and that is part of the problem is that there is a shortage. There is a
Yes.
shortage of police officers all over the country. You know, everywhere you look right now, there is a shortage of police officers, and
Hmm.
so yeah, you may not have the guy or the girl or the woman who who would have gotten his job 10, 15 years ago because people are not coming for these gigs. And
No.
so, you know, and I was, you know, I say it many times, I say this time on our show for the last 10 plus years we've been doing this. My dad, 23 years a police officer. I have love for him and for the ones who roll your eyes again. Uh,
Because you're so you're always ruining your argument. Like
no,
I
I'm
had
not.
love for
No,
one police officer.
no,
One.
no. Well, let me fix that. When I was a kid, I had one love for one police officer. As I've gotten older, as I've gotten to know more officers, I get it. You know, what I mean, they're people. You know, but the ones who take that badge and use that as a means and a weapon to accost people. There was another video I saw, and this man in Tampa, where it was a brother. He was in the car. He had two of his kids with him, two of his sons. He had just bought a vehicle. He had the registration in his glove box, and you know, of course, we don't see what happened before. By the time the cameras are rolling, you know, there's 9 cops around him, and supposedly they ran the tag and said, "Well, your car isn't registered. Here's the registration. Where'd you buy the car from?" By this time, this guy whose father was a retired cop, he's not in the mood for it, and you're not improving the situation by continuing to prod at him. Because how many people, if you buy a used car for somebody, you do everything you're supposed to do, and he says, "A guy, here's the registration." Well, it's not registered with the state. That's not on me. Yes, it is, sir. It's your fault. Now you can get arrested. You gonna arrest this man over a registration? He's got the paper in his hand, and you can clearly see that it's really not that serious.
But the same thing happened to me. And I got left at a Burger King. If you remember that when that happened, we were friends then. I got left at a
Mm.
Burger King for 4 hours to find my way home by 2 white police officers because they said your insurance is not showing up in our system. I was like, it's right here. I just paid it today, and I happened to just so happen to have the receipt in the car. I was like, look, this is today's day. I paid there. Well, it's not showing up for us. They took my ID, they took my tag, and towed my car and left me at a Burger King. It took me 4 hours to get home. It took me $2,000 to get everything fixed and get my car back.
Yeah, those type of bullying techniques are the things that really, really piss people off. And it's almost like cops act like you can't be mad at us. You don't have the right to be mad at us. Yeah, I do.
I was mad. I put my mama on the phone. I'm crying. My mom's like, but she has insurance. Like, what's going on? Like, where are you guys going to take her? Can she at least drive the car back home?
Right.
And they're like, no, we're just going to take it. We're just going to take it.
You know, and the thing about it, they know they're also going to, you know, that's going to come to the bottom line. You know, they're going to get some tax or some fine money out of that. There's a situation recently where I got a ticket. I had to pay this ticket. And really, it's to the point now, I don't know how it is down in Florida, but ain't no really negotiation. They come in and they first negotiation and say, here's the thing, you got an option. You can get in front of me and pay all these court costs, or go ahead and pay me this $175. You can go home. What are you going to do? You're going to potentially pay $1,000 in court costs and all this other nonsense and have to come and spend another day off work? Or you going to take the plea and say, all right, whatever, here, take this money and I'm gone.
When I got to court, I will never remember this. The judge looked at me like I had made a mistake. Like, why are you here? Well, where's the speeding ticket? I was like, I didn't get a speeding ticket. Well, did you have insurance? Yes, it's right here. I showed this to them. Well, she looked at the prosecutor, whatever the traffic court prosecutor is. He just shrugged his shoulders and like, she just needs to pay the court costs. What? All of this for you just to be here for 5 minutes for me to pay the court costs? Whatever. Anyway, let's move to the next topic.
All right, and for those who just tuning in, we are all over the place tonight. We're on Facebook and we're on YouTube and we're actually on Twitch tonight, I believe. So
we're twitching.
We're twitching. We're twitching. All right, so got to grow this audience, got to grow this audience, got to grow this audience. So the next story, and I won't have to do the whole disclaimer of all the news people are saying, and just so you know, the images you see may be disturbing. Now, I'm not putting no images of monkeypox up on the screen, but we will talk about
monkeypox.
Georgia health officials address confusion over monkeypox testing. And part of this confusion is that people, if y'all think this is a gay disease, you go on out there and kiss up on some people who've been out there in them streets.
This is not a gay disease.
This is not a gay
This
disease.
is not, y'all, this is not AIDS in 1983. Like, what are y'all talking about? That just makes me laugh. No. Just like that confusion back then, like it's a gay disease. No, this is an actual, it really, just to make people feel calmer, I feel like. Monkeypox is chicken pox. It's the exact same kind of, you touch somebody, breathe on somebody near somebody who has chicken pox, you're going to get chicken pox. Monkeypox is the same way. So it's not a gay thing. It's not a black thing. It's just a severe. It's like shingles.
It's a monkeypox thing. It's
a monkeypox thing,
and it's very highly contagious. I've seen quite a few health officials say this isn't one of, they said, well, you can only get it from kissing. No, they said this stuff can live on your sheets. Like you need to if you think you've been in contact. And so the girl here in Georgia, who and she's, for lack of a better term, has become pretty much a celebrity because she went around and done every news station, every channel. The first one that they said had gotten monkeypox, she said she got it, she believed, from exchanging money. Mm-hmm. She works at a gas station as an attendant, taking money from homeless people, and sit up here and say, and we all do it. We grab stuff, and as soon as our face itches, we scratch our face, we touch our face, whatever, unconsciously. And so, if you think it ain't time to keep that sanitizer in your car, change it, have gloves. And people, it's so funny, man. The looks that you get sometime in this day and age. I walked into a school meeting the other day, and I had on masks. The two girls had on masks, and you just see some people looking at you like, "You still wearing a mask?" Yeah, I'm still wearing a mask because you nasty.
I know. I'm like, I don't wear it all the time. There's certain times where I put my mask on, and because I know, like, there's some areas you trust, and some people are just like,
No, if I know I'm going to be in a room, it's going to be over, a certain number of people in the room where I can, because even when I go into a room where there's 15, 20 people in the room, I will be at one of the farthest most points observing from a distance. Hey, what's up, y'all? How you doing?
See, you're the type of person that if you get too close, you're like, nah, I'm okay. Stay back. But there's actually been a case of a young child getting monkeypox, and his parents aren't really sure how he got it. And of course, they're dumbfounded, like, why my child has monkeypox. But with kids going back to school, I can almost guarantee you there's going to be a monkeypox outbreak at either a Florida school or a Georgia school. There's going to be a monkeypox outbreak. Kids are back to school around each other. Masks are not important. Like some teachers are wearing them, some kids are wearing them. It doesn't really matter. It's going to be a monkeypox outbreak. The
Yeah.
good news is about monkeypox is that it's not deadly. Is it gross? Yes.
Yes.
Is it annoying? Yes.
Yes.
Are you have to be quarantined for 14 days? Yes. But
Or
are you going
more.
to die?
Yeah.
No, you're not
No,
going to die.
you're not
just
gonna
going to
die.
be.
You're not going to die for the most part. And full disclaimer, we're not medical doctors. Don't get up and say people life full circle radio told me I wasn't going to die of monkeypox and my cousin died of monkeypox. No, we ain't taking
Why
no
do they name it
responsibility.
monkeypox? I'm sorry. Why did they name it monkeypox?
I
They
have
do it
no
just for black
idea.
people so we can laugh.
Monkeypox has been around for a minute too. Anytime you get online and you see, anytime it happens, when you see it over, and they always make it look so much worse if you see the pictures of kids in Africa. It's just like Lord have mercy, like it's overtaking every bit of their bodies. But with our ability to sanitize, wash our hands, and all that type of stuff. But I felt bad. They show pictures of that girl, and she went through the whole progression. They show how it first happened, scabbed up, and one thing she said, these marks will go away. I mean, these bumps will go away, but the marks will never go away. So be safe. There's another reason why we're gonna be living in bubbles and walking around.
But again, guys,
mm-hmm.
This is not a gay disease. This is not
Right.
a black gay disease. This is not a black disease. Everybody and anybody can get monkeypox. So let's stop the stigma, because I think that's the biggest issue with a lot of the stories is that it's causing a lot of the black LGBTQIA community to feel kind of like you're putting something else on us. You're giving us another responsibility.
Exactly. Stop putting it on them. Stop putting it on those people. It's not no gay disease. As we mentioned, you guys dropped a few comments. Look who's dropping comments. My man, Mizzy. I enjoy the gun range. It's exhilarating, but I still feel I don't need to own a gun because of my kids. I would rather keep them away from my kids. My man.
And Omar's right. That's my husband. Everybody knows this by now, but that's our household thing. Because with the twins, twins don't give a damn about nothing. If they can get to it, they're going to get to it. They are fascinated by our robot vacuum cleaner, our karaoke machine.
As they
tip anything over,
babies.
as they should.
Right.
And we have a special needs child here too. So having a gun in the house is just not. It's not safe.
No, well, it's not. It's not. It's not. So, and it's anyway. All right, let's get into some of the ratchet stories. Do we want to do the ratchet stories now? Because we're gonna talk about them longer. Or do we want to do?
Yeah, we're the second half of the show. It's time for ratchet. Let's do this.
It's
Where
time
we going?
for then let's go ahead and knock out a couple of more of these last ones that ain't ratchet. This last one that's not ratchet.
Okay, what is it?
We got to do Michael E. Langley, who was named as the first black 4-star general. And as always, anytime there's a nuke that gets some recognition, hey, got to give that brother his props. But first 4-star general in Marines, so congratulations to Michael E. Langley. What a great accomplishment. All right, let's move on, unless you got something to say about that. Do you want to talk about?
No, I think it's an amazing accomplishment. Again, the Marines have been around for a long time. This is the first one. That seems a little odd at this point for anything to be the first one. How old are the Marines now? 110 years old?
They aren't older than that. I think they were late 1800s, so they should be older than that, potentially. But
either way, they old.
It's been a long
and
time.
It should not be the first.
It's been a long time, but congratulations to Michael Langley on this accomplishment. All right, so this story that's been going around here recently with this brother IrvGotti. So here's the thing. IrvGotti, for people who don't know,
Are we on the ratchet side now? We're not on the ratchet side. Where are we?
We on the ratchet side now. So people who don't know who IrvGotti is, IrvGotti, Murder Inc. Was his record company. I guess he's still around with Murder Inc. And Ashanti, who is a vampire.
Who's Ashanti?
Huh?
Who's Ashanti?
What do you mean? Who's Ashanti?
Her name is Ashanti.
Whatever. You go sit up here and correct my little Tay, Ashanti. Girl, you stop me up for that. All right. So Ashanti, who was the princess of Murder Inc., I guess they happened to have, during the time, a relationship, even though he was married at the time. And this dude is out here basically with his 20-year-old love stories about Ashanti and the fact that, telling the story because he went on Drink Champs and did his.
Did you listen to the interview? I actually went back.
I cannot do it. I can't do it with with
Drink Champs.
Noriega with them teeth and all the horn and I can't do it, man. I can't do it.
So I'm not a big fan of Drink Champs either.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they have a great platform. It's great for the culture. It's great for the hip hop culture. It's amazing, but it is a lot to take in. But I listened to this, and this was the most cringeworthy interview I've ever listened to my entire life. And the fact that all the men on the show were kind of trying to get him to go away from the Ashanti topic, he would not stop. It was weird. He brought up the fact that he was wearing a watch that Ashanti bought him and wanted everybody to know, Ashanti bought me this watch. Like, he was wearing it and it had her name engraved in it and he wanted to show it off. And they were all just so confused why he wouldn't get off the Ashanti topic. And this was 20 years ago, like you said, and he was married. So you're bragging about cheating on your wife. What are you doing?
IrvGotti's a weirdo. That's why number one. Let's start there. Let's start there. Yeah,
Is he really?
Fat man. There's just, I think I'm a pretty decent judge of character, right? And no knock, successful businessman. I didn't know they said. Here's the other thing before we get on this, and he has a 5-part documentary that's now premiered about Murder Inc. and it started like this week. So
translation.
Now,
this was all promo.
So this was all promo. This is all promo. This is all promo. And so you sit back and you just say, wow, the formula is not a hard formula, but Fat Joe done came out and basically called him a sucker. Because this is come on, man. Like, and I don't know if he's still married to that woman who he was married to before.
No.
Nelly.
I don't think they're still married. I think they got divorced right after his reality show because she was kind of just like, you cheated on me the entire marriage. And he tried to like G up on her on the show and said, cut the cameras off. And she just sat there like, you cheated on me the entire marriage. Why am I still here? Like, this is ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
This nonsense. This nonsense is crazy, man. And so 20 years ago, you trying, like, he even said something about a song that she wrote that he got credit for, but she wrote it because he inspired her while she was in the shower. He was in some nonsense.
Yes, it was. I forgot what the song is called, but yes, there was a song that he claimed on the show that was written about him. But here's the other thing that I have a huge issue with. Why do rappers do this? Why do y'all drag other famous women under the mud, under your dirt, for no apparent reason? There was no reason for him to even bring up Ashanti. They weren't really talking about Ashanti outside of what made Murder Inc. great. And then he just started in how she left and that crushed him and this and that. And why are we dragging Ashanti into the conversation when she doesn't need to cheat? Why?
The only thing that made my cream like it ain't about rap. First of all, IrvGotti ain't no rapper. He just a dude. He a producer and salesman.
Was he even a producer at that time?
Yeah. He was producer and owner of Murder Inc. And I didn't know. Somebody said that he used to be Jay-Z's DJ. Okay, whatever. But Murder Inc. is successful. Ja Rule and Ashanti were Murder Inc. They were the ones who had that record label do what it did in late 90s, early 2000s, whenever it was.
And then Lloyd, the singer Lloyd, was on Murder Inc., the one who looks like the Cleveland Indian, which every time people say that always makes me laugh. He was also apparently Murder Inc.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I don't know what label he's on, but I know the two I remember are those two. But I just look at this thing and I just sit back and just say, when it's all said and done, you wanted to sell this new reality show so you can get yourself a new contract, whatever else you're doing. Because I'm not sure if it's IrvGotti who has the show that takes rap songs and turns them into short films, and it's on BET. He has a what is it called? If somebody is
it's
watching.
Called No One's Watching. That's what it's called. It's called No One's Watching that. There's another rapper that was on Murder Inc. that everybody forgets. I forgot. Remember Charlie Baltimore, the light-skinned girl with the red hair?
She had one banging track. It was that one track was banging. Yeah.
What was the one track? Because I don't remember.
It was a banging track. It's a nice little dance record. For some reason, put me in the mode like she may have done a hook on a Blackstreet song too. But Charlie Baltimore had. Oh, maybe it's not. Is it Charlie Baltimore I'm thinking about? No, I'm mixing Charlie Baltimore with somebody else. Yeah, no.
You're probably mixing Charlie Baltimore up with Rod Digger. Rod Digger had a lot of hooks.
No, Rod Digger. They don't look nowhere near. They are totally diametrically no. No, the
I
one
thought
who
you
I'm
meant
thinking
lyrics
about.
wise. I didn't know you meant looks wise.
No, I'm thinking looks wise. Charlie Baltimore. For some reason, Charlie Baltimore, I believe, looked like Faith. You better make me pull it up. I seem to remember Charlie Baltimore had
And
kind of
you know
having
she was
early.
with Biggie right before he died. That was her boyfriend.
That's probably why I'm connecting her to. But how? No, Biggie. Anyway. Oh man, these people
I'm
so.
looking at the Wikipedia facts right now.
There you
Charlie
go.
Baltimore
There you go
partners,
with the
Notorious
daggum
B.I.G.
Wikipedia again. What I tell you about depending on Wikipedia? I'm trying to think how she looked back in the day. Charlie Baltimore. Let me see the best one. Well,
She
there you
had one
go.
album,
Charlie
I think.
Baltimore. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm trying
Yeah.
to remember if I remember what that was.
She's like 45 years old right now.
Ain't none of these people young. we all. They go Charlie Baltimore back in the day, and at the time she was. That's not how she looked back in the day though. But at the time, you know what I mean.
God rest Biggie's soul, but that man was not attractive. I'm
Man,
sorry. He
Biggie,
was not an attractive man.
black and ugly as ever. However,
And
I
if
stay
when
put
you
you
know
down
facts
to the
about
socks,
yourself,
rings and watch.
that man was not attractive.
He had a mouth on him. The brother could rhyme like no other, and he said, "Hey, I'm fat and
He like
ugly as ever,
Forrest
black and
Whitaker
ugly as
unattractive.
ever."
Like it's
Hey,
like that. There's just certain groups of unattractive men. Forrest Whitaker,
hey,
Notorious B.I.G. It just
hey.
is. Yeah. Ooh.
Is what it is. All right. So anyway, but IrvGotti, he gets the sucker of the week. Maybe we need to make that. We need to make a new segment. Sound with that.
I'm down for sucker of the week.
Sucker of the week. Who the sucker of the week? This week is gonna be IrvGotti.
And next to him will be Neo.
Is that your cue for me to transition to our
Yes,
Neo story?
that is the cue. This
Neo.
man is a scumbag, and he's been a scumbag for a while, and we all have let it slide because he makes these love songs I like, and he had these ballads I like, but he is a scumbag.
I'm just telling you, I'm gonna let you go ahead and lead this story because I have not been paying attention to him in this way. Because, like you said, he comes off as he's the coolest
Corny.
dude, kind of jive corny, make these little nice love songs and everything this dude, when he tried to get his, go ahead, run it down. And I'll see.
Cool. So Nia was originally with Moneta Shaw, and I think they had been together since high school, a long time.
Is it Moneta or Moneta?
It's Moneta. She's also in the Real Housewives of Atlanta this season with her new husband, who also happens to be Caucasian, who is hilarious, by the way.
Okay.
While they were together,
Which one is Moneta? Red jacket?
In the jacket, in the blazer.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'm paying attention. Go ahead.
They were together. They had 2 kids. He actually convinced her to get her tubes tied while they were together, convincing her they didn't need any more kids, and which she obliged with and did. He actually ended up leaving her for Crystal, the light-skinned girl with the boob job on the other side, and he married Crystal and had multiple more children with Crystal.
Yeah.
And now Crystal is in the same situation Moneta was in. Crystal has been cheated on by Neo. She has put it out there of years and years of being cheated on. Who wants me to accept this? And I think he's trying to get her to have an open marriage and accept having an open marriage. And she doesn't want that. But Crystal, how you got them is how you lose them, darling. Like,
I just made an interesting juxtaposition going back to our show from last week talking about polyamory. So polyamory must be pre-open marriage. Like, so that's like the open marriage without being married is polyamory, right? And then you got open marriage.
No, and again, now we have to be back to that show that gave us enough information, but not enough. Mm-hmm. I think when you're in a committed relationship and there's more than one people or more than 2 people, it ends up being polyamory. Mm-hmm. But the way Doc made it seem like it could be you fell in love with a tree and now you and the tree are in a relationship, but you're also in love with 3 other people. Like you can fall in love with anybody.
He didn't say nothing about no tree. But
you know what I mean.
I know. But maybe the open marriage piece is that you don't necessarily, it's open, you can go do whatever you want, but there is no understanding with the 3 people who are in that.
But the big part of polyamory and polygamy, what Justin said and Catalina said, it has to be agreed upon by everybody. Yeah, one partner can't go off and be like, well, I found this other girl. Yeah. Let's bring her in. We'll all be happy. And the wife is like, are you joking? What are you talking about? We're in a marriage, sir.
You're right. There is a difference. And for people don't know, what are y'all talking about? Last week, we had Dr. Justice Clarity on the show. Go to YouTube. You can check it out. There's also a shorter clip up there where you can check out just a little snippet of it. Or if you want to watch her interview, it's there too. And he talked to polyamory was the subject matter that he was on last week. But getting back to Neo, man, I just to each his own, I guess.
No, not to each his.
No,
No,
let
y'all
me
can
finish my
have got to
thought.
stop doing that.
Let me finish my thought. He's making a huge mistake.
Yeah.
And I know so many brothers who get out here and it's sweet when you're in your 20s and your 30s. I think Neo might be pushing 40. He may be getting there, and you about to you about to get to that
He's
point.
over 40.
Is he?
He's 41.
Okay. He just always looks so young to me. He just, but it's crazy. I heard him on some interview, and he said he'd been in the game 20 years. I'm like, wow, Neo's been
Yeah.
around for 20 years. That's don't
Yes.
even seem right. But yeah, you got two women out here, and you got two child support checks right there. They look like they're about maybe 7 and 9. That you better go out and make some more songs and go to Vegas and get and do your thing, write some more songs because you done pissed off two women. And I don't know if Moneta, they have kids.
Moniette, that's why I think she had 2 kids, and that's
That's
why.
right. That's right. And then he asked her to get her tubes tied. So now he got, I guess, 4 children because I think he's got 2 or 3
Yes.
with his. So I don't know, man. It never makes sense to me. It makes sense to cats who think like this. They're conquering these women and they end up having to live with the consequences. Hey, is what it is.
But here's
All
the
right.
thing. I always
Mm-hmm.
laugh about people who are like, I'm going to get divorced when I'm in my mid 40s. And I just look at them and go, why? Like, are you really want to be back out here with the body you have
Yeah, and
and
you
two
know what's so
kids?
funny? I'm gonna see if I can find it. Why? Go ahead, because the other story that's interesting to me is some pictures. I guess she's come out recently. What's her name? Doja Cat.
Oh,
Doja.
before we go to your Doja Cat picture, you were dying to show everybody, which I hate because she looks bizarre. Is people have asked me if Omar ever cheated on me, would I leave him? And my answer is always the same: absolutely not. Not only do I love this man, but also
Mhm.
I'm not going back in the dating world. Not with 3 kids and 40 pounds heavier. Up against girls who are younger than me who can afford to get BBLs for the price that it costs to put a down payment on a Focus. Like, no, I'm not going back in the world with those girls.
I, you
I'm
know,
fine.
Here's the thing. Here's the funny thing about what you're saying. And my oldest, when I showed her this picture, and I said to myself, "Hold on, this is the same person." Excuse me. And so, and I'm trying to get to it. I'm just gonna go to her Instagram. All right.
The
Where we
picture
at?
he's about to show. Are you showing the both pictures?
I'm going to show. Yeah, this is a good one. We'll go here. Let's go here. All right. So this is Doja Cat. Doja Cat is one of the most popular pop artists right now. It's so
Yes.
funny. I always joke my kids because she came out with this song where she was just saying moo 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 for 4 minutes in a song.
It's
It was just,
called B Word I'm a Cow. Thank you
is that
very
the name
much.
of the song? So that exactly. So that's the reason why I haven't kept that in the top of my mind. So then a picture came out recently and about Doja Cat and that and I said, hold on, that's the same person? I paused for effect. Now, my daughter was like, that's so unnecessary, blah 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 blah. She I get the old guy in the club look. Coming back, and this is how I'm bringing this up right now. I would not want to be dating in these streets in these day and age because you don't know what you're
No,
getting. You
you
don't know.
don't.
You don't know what you're getting, man. When it comes down to these filters that I see people rocking these filters, and I'm like, if I see you and I meet you, DM, we go meet up, go have drinks, and I walk in and I'm like, who are you? Oh, I'm no. Are you serious?
But even worse than that,
Uh-huh.
let's say this. Let's say you go out to dinner. She looks like the picture because she has on 30 pounds of makeup. She has on her wig. She's got on her shapewear. Now, when you get back to the house, I always ask people, when you're single with shapewear on, how does it work? Like, when it's not, this is not even me being funny. I'm being dead serious. How does this
Yeah,
work?
yeah.
When do you take off the shapewear? Before sex? Like during? Like what? When are you supposed to take off the shapewear and the wig? and the makeup and the lashes and the eyebrows you've painted on. Like, when does all this?
I guess you send him downstairs for a drink, or send him to the
And
store.
he comes upstairs to the crypt keeper. How does that work?
You know, it's so funny. We there was a I don't know what movie. I think it was I'm Gonna Get You Sucker back in the day, right?
When she took her leg off. When she took her leg off and her hair and the whole thing.
Yeah, it was crazy. But that to me I've always and God bless me with a wife that, she's been growing her locks for about 4 or 5 years, and I've always
gorgeous.
Yeah, I love her locks. My girls got locks, and I've always been more into. It's so funny. I talk about this thing. I would much rather meet a woman in Walmart than to meet a woman in a club. Because I know if you're in Walmart in some sweats, this is what you really gonna look like. And if you beautiful in Walmart with sweats, we can doll you up. We can both get dolled up. You know what I mean? There's times, you know what I mean? Sometimes I catch, not my regular barber, my backup barber. He like to pull out the Beijing. And before I turn around, he get the I'm like, hold up, bro. I'm old
not the Beijing.
But yeah, man. But we all have a little bit of jazzing up. We do right to keep ourselves tight. It's all good. But
absolutely,
this stuff now, man. It's like here's this video of this woman. She that's on, and I don't know her name. I just hear her stuff keep popping up on my Instagram, and her face is like maybe she's had some real issues with acne or whatever. And she does, you know who I'm talking about? She does this video and she has the music, all of a sudden, bloop, and then she changes and she's a totally different looking person.
There's a lot of women like that who do these makeup video tutorials and they look like completely different people. There's a specific one that I'm familiar with because she had severe postpartum tooth decay. So her teeth fell out because the vitamins all went to the baby. So her tooth, and that happens sometimes. So she wears dentures, but she did it before, no dentures, no makeup, no nothing, and then with her makeup and dentures, and people were just like, "Honey, you're a completely different person." That's kind of mean. But she's married, she's got 4 kids, so it's different. But
right, because her husband is good with it. My thing is, if you are out here, we need to do a whole show on this. We got to find some people. But my whole thing is, how hard is that? If I'm a man, I'm a good dude. Man, I'm gonna love you. I'm gonna respect you. Whatever. I see you. I like what you fine. I like her. Okay, let me holler at her. Whatever. And then all of a sudden you get her home, and you are not who I was attracted to. Yeah. But then all of a sudden you sit back and like, okay, all right, well, and then all of a sudden you the dog. Oh man, why you cheating that girl? Blah 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 blah. Like, yo.
Omar thought I was fake. Omar did not want to take me out he'll probably run in the studio really quick and tell me this, but Omar, I think, was nervous about taking me out to a real restaurant when he first met me because he thought that my pictures were fake.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, they were glammed up club pictures, but they weren't like completely different. He was so thankful that it was me. And I bring it up also to say time is flying because tomorrow it'll be 5 years.
Hey, let me see if I get the right one. I didn't get the right one.
What was that original sound effect?
I have no idea. It's supposed to be applause. I got to get my little keypad right over here. I got the Jamaican horn, though. Happy anniversary to the Shakurs.
Yeah, so 5 years. Tomorrow would have been our 5 year from our Hindu ceremony, and then 5 years Friday from our Christian ceremony. So yeah, 5 years. 2 kids added later, a house added later. It's a lot.
A whole life added later. You know what I mean? That's what we do. That's what we do.
How many years are you and Tracy at now?
I always carried it one. It'll be 14 in October. We've been together 16 years. Been married almost 14. We met in September of 2006. So we've been together almost 16 years next month, and we'll be married 14 years in October. Yep.
And we are both blessed to be married. We have to worry about y'all catfishing us, y'all lying, y'all.
I cannot imagine because everybody knows me. They always say that I don't really hide very well on my face. So if all of a sudden I see one thing on Instagram, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. And then you run up on me at the bar.
Guys, Miguel really has no filter and no hide face. It really is just, what is wrong with you? Like, what happened?
It's so funny because I'll tell people in a minute, I ain't said nothing. Your face. And my wife told me, I said, your
face.
face. I'm like, yo, I ain't said nothing. Man, I just can't imagine getting out here in a singles life and you roll up on and you like, I'm gonna go ahead and buy you this one drink.
Or you roll up
Check.
on old guys who just got into the dance scene, who are just weird. You know, he knows what I'm talking about. Those are the people that are single out there. Ooh, yay, I'm so excited. Are you serious?
I'm so blessed. I'm just, I'm glad that that's never, that, that's not going to be me, knock on wood, ever, as long as my wife tolerates me, that I won't be that 60-year-old dude who out there, trying to show some taco meat and is like, yeah, see this watch, girl. Yeah. Yo, it's Life on Circle Radio. My name is Miguel. That's super producer. We've been getting to the end today. Next week, we are working on a couple of interviews. It's getting to that point now that it's time to start talking a little bit more politics. But people, if you've just been following us recently, y'all like, all they do is talk about ratchetness and Trump. No, we actually are kind of bright people. And so
and we've had 3 weeks. 3 weeks, guys, of good guests. So please don't. This was just a one-off show to have fun.
Folks was coming. Had one guest was recovering from COVID, and another guest was traveling, and so it is what it is. But here's the thing too, and I'll get a graphic fixed up for this by next week. If you are interested in being a guest on the show, email us at and I'm sending you to her, Kia at lifefullcircleradio.com, because she is the super producer. And,
yes, that is my job. I will vet you. We can build topics around you. Absolutely. We want to, and honestly, we want to help people build their platform. There's some of you out there who really want to make podcasting your full-time gig, and we want to help you do that. You want to have YouTube be your full-time gig. We are more than willing to help you come on the platform, share content,
and we'll help you produce it. That's one thing that we do here with Lloyd Media Group. My company is that we do produce content, whether it be live produced, recorded, and all that good stuff. So we can help with that as well. And so some of that contact information will be there towards the end. All right, before we go, any other stories we missed? Because it's always so much.
Oh, can we do one last funny story? This is not even rat. It's just funny.
Okay.
Woody from Toy Story does not want to get canceled.
I don't have the video. You don't want me to have the video.
Oh, darn. Guys, this is the best video ever.
Where did you send it to me? You sent it to me in, was it a DM? I'm going to try to find it. Did you send it to me?
All you have to do was look up Woody and Woody and Jesse hug black children. I don't know. I'll give you guys a synopsis.
Woody and while I'm pulling it up, Jesse.
Sesame Place had their incident, and they're now in a class action lawsuit for $125 million. And no, the parents aren't suing for that amount. It just means how many parents who've had an issue with Sesame Place and Rosita can join the lawsuit. Well, Woody from Disney World is not having it. He does not want to get canceled. This man practically cussed out and slapped Jesse, another character, in the face, say, if you don't go hug this black child, I'm not getting canceled for you. You better go over there. And it's not like Jesse was ignoring the little girl. Jesse was over there backflipping and high stepping and kicking, and she's on the other side of the street, and he ran over and got her.
These doggone advertisements keep on killing time. I'm trying to. It's right here, but the advertisements stop me.
I'll keep going, but this is really what's happening. Characters don't want to get canceled. Characters from cartoons do not want to get canceled.
Yo, it's just crazy, man. I was just like, you see a kid hug a kid, go in the back, get some. Don't be racist, and if you want to be racist outside of your costume, don't be racist in your costume. All right, this video.
But other characters. Don't y'all go ripping other characters away because y'all think, get over here now, because don't be extra. Don't be extra for black children. Just be regular for black children. Is that fair?
Right. That's fair. All right. I think I got it. Let me see.
Oh yeah, you got to rewind it a little bit though.
it keeps on looping this one. It say let me watch the full video. Let's see.
But as you can see,
advertisement won't pop up.
Woody walked away like a gangster, like, I did my job. I'm done. I don't need to do nothing else. This is what I was supposed to do. It's got rap music on it. So as you can see, Jessie is way across the street. She's not even close by. Look at him. Y'all, he walked across the street very aggressive to this Jesse character. Like, you need to go over here. What do I need to do to get you to walk over here?
Oh my God, I couldn't hear anything you were saying because that thing was so loud in my ear. I couldn't shut the volume down. But yeah,
It was
you were.
playing Understand the Assignment as Woody. And that's not the assignment, Black people. The assignment isn't going to go rip rip characters away from other children. That's not the assignment. But I
Yeah.
think that's a wrap for tonight.
All right, man. I appreciate everybody for you guys tuning in, and for everybody, there's a lot of different ways you may hit us tonight. You might have saw us on Facebook. You might have saw us on YouTube. You might have saw us on the Twitch. We testing out some other platforms because we can, and we know you guys are all over the place. So we appreciate you all for coming in today. Look, just make sure you follow us on YouTube because that's where we're dropping a lot of our content out here to make sure you guys can keep up with us. Because y'all seem to like the short content. Because I did refreshed our little neo soul conversation.
Sir, I have to be up at 5:30 in the morning. Can you please stop the show so I can go to bed?
All right, man. Peace. Blessings. We holler at y'all.
Later. Bye.